Bitcoin remains on a knife's edge while gold and silver are consolidating. And the altcoin market is really in sideways mode. But that could definitely change today. We're actually expecting some important data, which could mean significantly more movement for Bitcoin. One might almost say we have to fear it. And with that, welcome to a new crypto update video. Yes, Bitcoin at 91,000 US dollars. The daily close wasn't really good. We're back in our symmetrical triangle. My long position is closed. The short is still running. Now let's take a look at everything that's important for today, because as I said, there are quite a few news items on the agenda today. So it's probably not going to be a very quiet day right before the weekend, but let's take a look at everything now. But before we get started, as always, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, feel free to join the free Telegram talk and signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, you're welcome to join. You'll find the link for that for free down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to sign up with my partner, Exchange BingX. Currently or still, you can get up to 11,500 USDT in bonuses. This promotion is valid for another 18 days. Let's get into it. Bitcoin, as I said, at 91,000 US dollars. Since our good move up here, we hit our price target yesterday. Yesterday, we dropped towards 89,200 US dollars. It wasn't a crash. On the 15-minute chart, that was kind of the trigger for me to go long here after we were over here. Or rather, if you zoom in here, we had good volume plus a red-green vector combination. And, when you see that, including volume, it's usually a good idea. Yes, a move to the upside could start from there. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. On a larger scale, if we take a look at the whole thing on the daily time frame, plus let's turn on our trader's reality indicator. And the daily close wasn't really great. Yesterday and the day before, we talked about how important it is to stay above the 50 EMA. That's this blue line here where I have the pointer right now. Yesterday, we fell below it, or rather, the day before yesterday and yesterday, we did a negative retest and dropped below it again. We're also back inside our larger symmetrical triangle. That's not a good sign, especially with the news we're getting today. And those will be decisive for the direction. Not only are we getting the non-farm payrolls after all. At 2:30 p.m., we're also getting the unemployment rate, the jobless rate, and the average hourly earnings. So these will set the pace for what the Fed has to do. Because if we look at the Fed Watch tool, we see that 88% are not expecting a rate cut. If today's data confirms that, and maybe also pay a bit of attention to how the numbers behave here. The forecast is 66,000, previous was 64,000. If anything gets revised again, that's something we also need to watch out for. This is going to be highly exciting, and not just the topic itself, but also what will accompany us throughout the day today is the topic of tariffs. Yes, the topic of tariffs. Apparently, a ruling is supposed to come today. From the Supreme Court, 60 to 80% on Polymarket, it's even 76%. Assume that the tariffs will be declared illegal or not considered legal. And then Trump will have a problem at first. What happens next? What options and solutions does he have? How will the markets react? On the one hand, you could argue, sure, if there are no more tariffs, cool, free trade. Who knows, maybe the markets will pump. On the other hand, it does push back all the tariffs. Have the tariffs already been factored in differently? It's going to be an exciting day, you have to say at this point. Let's take a quick look at the funding rates. They've risen slightly again. Let's look at the high block rate. Let's take a quick look at the liquidity, at least over the last 7 days. Here we can see that actually the bigger chunk is currently at around 86,000, but that's still the range we've been in for weeks now. That's where most of the liquidity is. Neither above nor, okay, you could argue a bit for below, but the bulk of the liquidity just isn't there. At the moment, it's there. And I think that's kind of the big problem because the markets don't really have a clear direction. For now, everything is still fine. But for now, I'm holding off on any further trades, even throughout the day, to see how we actually behave, especially during the earnings reports. Because right now, we're simply in no man's land. In my opinion, opening a position here just doesn't make much sense at all. Because of lower volatility, less volume in the market, and because of a zone where, well, we had a breakout and then dropped down. Now we're testing the resistance right at the breakout again and getting rejected. That's actually not what we really want to see at this point in time. At the same time, which is a bit of a positive, all the spot positions are being sold off again after we had massive inflows yesterday, also right at the bottom. At 89.4, the BTC were now sold again towards 91, 92,000 here. So we're seeing massive selling pressure, or massive in quotes, because we're only talking about 20 to 25 million being sold per minute in Bitcoin here, but still selling pressure has come back in. Even though we've dropped a bit again in the last few hours, it's something to keep an eye on. But otherwise, regarding Japan, not much is really happening. The bond markets are still at a very, very high level. In my opinion, something should happen there sooner or later. I wanted to show you this because I mentioned it in the live stream yesterday as well. Topic USDT market cap. It behaves exactly the same as in 2021. Top, down, then up again. Here it tries to break resistance, drops again, back to the same zone. This is the consolidation phase we should currently be in. And up. It's definitely something to keep in mind. It's not panic mode yet, but we should definitely pay attention to it. Let's move on to Ethereum. What has happened there? Not really much, hardly any movement yesterday either, more to the downside. The 200 SMA was also tested here on the 4-hour chart. Basically a positive sign, but the movement afterwards was pretty weak. Unfortunately, Solana did not reach my wave 4 after I told you yesterday. Sales hound, please secure, take profit. It would be cool if we moved towards the 0.5 level, but we only went up to the 0.382 level. That means wave 4 should already be completed here as well, since we might have gotten the hint here too. It could also be that in the next few hours we hit the top here and then have completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 according to the Elliott wave movement. We had a similar situation yesterday with Tau. If you take a look at it, 1, 2, 3, then the double top here with the huge wick, and then the 5 was ultimately completed. I can imagine something similar happening with Solana in the next few hours. The top would be if we move up here towards $145, because then we would have the liquidity above here and could then do the rollover. But all of this needs to happen, I'd say, by 2:30 p.m., because that will be the key turning point for me today. Then traditional markets, let's take a quick look, or rather, first of all, Forex markets. That's more important. USD JPY is back at the same zone. That doesn't look good. That's not good for Japan because sooner or later Japan will have to intervene. USD Euro, or Euro against US dollar, not really much movement. Then gold is consolidating in the resistance zone. Silver, again, a bit of an upswing, but still nothing substantial. So for now, I won't be entering any positions there. Now, the traditional markets, DAX all-time high. No need to talk about it. Here too, I haven't entered yet. Otherwise, I would have let you know. It will probably happen in the next few hours. I'll see how Europe opens now. So especially the DAX, then at 9 o'clock. And then we'll see. I'll definitely let you know, because Dow Jones at all-time high levels. NASDAQ failed again yesterday, back in a triangle. Volume is very low. That's not what I want to see. S&P 500 rejected, down again, low volume. That's just not what I'm hoping for at the moment. And the volatility index could now slowly but surely make a significant move upwards here. Let's wait and see. It's definitely going to be an exciting day. I'll keep you updated at any time in the Telegram group. And otherwise, yeah, I'd say don't overthink it too much. We'll see what happens. The only thing I'll probably do now, as I said, is open a DAX short trade. But otherwise, we'll wait for the data at 2:30 p.m. It's going to be some exciting data. And yeah, let's just wait and see. Otherwise, I wish you all a wonderful weekend, of course. If I manage, I'll do a little XRP update later since it's Friday. Otherwise, I wish you all a nice weekend. Give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Until then, ciao, and as always, stay crypto.